Hello, fellow time travelers. We're going back through the decades now to uncover what happened this week in socialist history. Let's kick things off in 1934 when this week about 3,000 Minneapolis truck drivers organized by the Teamsters went on strike after their bosses refused to recognize the dang union. It ground commercial transport in the city to a halt. The police and National Guard were called in to protect scabs. The standoff would last months. There would be a massacre when authorities opened fire on striking workers, injuring 67 people and killing 2. But in the end, the workers won. By August, the union won recognition and a minimum wage. The victory was pivotal for the rise of industrial unionism in the state. Okay, let's move along now to 1968, when student protests rocked the country of Senegal. They shut down Dakar University after the government announced plans to cut back scholarships. Protests were also aimed at Senegal's president, Leopold Senghor, who students called a reactionary and neocolonialist. The labor movement joined the university strike, and within days, a general strike had shut down the country and nearly toppled the Senghor government. Students eventually won, and the government left the scholarships unchanged. Next up, 1941, theater actors in Norway organized the first industry-wide strike under Nazi occupation. Actors had refused to lend their voices to Nazi radio programs, so they had their acting permits revoked. That led to a strike among all theater actors and directors that lasted 5 months. It only ended because the Nazis basically threatened to kill them if they didn't return to work, declaring that the strike was a rebellion against the Fuhrer. Many actors fled the country. One director, Henry Gleditsch, who stayed and instead satirized the occupying regime, was eventually executed. The public would pick up where workers left off and boycotted all the new Nazi-fied theaters. No one wanted to watch that garbage. And finally, this week in 1965, President Lyndon Johnson sent the FBI down to the Dominican Republic to search for communists. Hat tip to journalist and researcher Chip Gibbons for flagging this one on Twitter. Johnson was reportedly upset that amid the Dominican Revolution, the U.S. government only knew of 77 communists in the country, and there must have been thousands more. According to a government cable, quote, on May 19, 1965, President Johnson ordered the FBI into the DR, and subsequently, we proceeded to compile information on persons who could be expected to constitute a threat against established authority in future emergencies. Established authority meant the puppet government backed by the U.S. after overthrowing a democratically elected one. Hey, thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of our new videos. Also, if you want to see Means Morning News in its complete form, not just the clips we post here, head on over to Means TV and get access to all our new episodes and our entire backlog, plus tons of other great movies and original TV shows.